I try not to be too prescriptive when it comes to the work we do internally, because it's all beneficial. For some of us, certain aspects come more easily than others, and the last thing that you want is us to start second-guessing ourselves and saying, oh, wait, I can't have that realization till I do this work. Wait, stop. Something's beautiful and it's blossoming over here, but if you've got in your mind that sequentially something else has to happen first, you're going to block that. So letting go of who we think we are, while also working on self-love, they seem contradictory. And the work can happen simultaneously, or it can happen one following the other. Doesn't matter how it happens. The reason is the letting go of who I think I am is a letting go of all of the places where I am stuck. We don't let go of love. We don't let go of truth. We don't let go of consciousness. When we let go of who we think we are, it's letting go of a narrative, a story. If we went around the room, if we had hours and hours and hours for satsang, and we went around the room, or if this were a full day retreat or something, and we went around and each of you introduced yourself and shared about yourself, we would get lots of different levels of story. We'd get a physical body story, where you're from, how old you are, what your job is, like what you do, what your relationships are, husband, wife, parents, kids, whatever it may be. We'd get an emotional story. What you struggle with, what your challenges are, what your neuroses may be, what the way that your mind works that creates problems for you, maybe what you've learned, what you've overcome. These stories actually are what keep us stuck. These stories are the ways in which we tell ourselves, I am a patient of depression. I am suffering from this illness, that illness. I am an alcoholic. I am a drug addict. I am the child of an alcoholic. I'm the child of a drug addict. I am this. I am that. I am too old. I am too young. I am too fat. I am too skinny. I am too afraid. I am too reckless. I am. All of these are stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. And they keep us stuck. It's like we have adopted, going back to the analogy I was using before, we've adopted a role that a script writer wrote, and we're limited to all of the aspects that have been written into this role by the script writer. Here's what your history is. Here's how you feel about your mother or father. Here's what your fears are. Here's what your ulterior motive is. And we're stuck in that role. So letting go of who you think you are is not self-deprecation or self-abandonment. It's the opposite. It's self-expansion. It's, I thought I was this, and then I realized I am that. It's a letting go of all the ways that you were held back, defined by your physical situation, your physical history, your emotional situation, your biochemical situation, your relational situation. So we let go of that. Not that we deny it or repress it, but we let go of it as in, it isn't me, I am soul. So we don't deny any of it. We just stop identifying as it. We start to work on identifying as soul, as spirit, as consciousness, as love as divinity, as that which is unchanging in a physical form that is constantly changing, and whose situations and circumstances and experiences are constantly changing. Self-love is actually a beautiful part of that process. Because when I love myself, well, I want myself to be free. I want to give myself the greatest possibility of truth and freedom, which means I'm going to try to get myself out of jail. Loving the self does not mean loving the story. Loving the self is not, oh, you are so wonderful in this story. We certainly learn to have deep compassion for that which we've been through. We have tenderness for that which we've been through. We hold it gently with love, with care, with compassion for the experiences we've had, the way we've suffered, the struggles, the challenges, all of that. But real self-love is not about continuing to, pat yourself on the face while you keep yourself in jail. It's not, oh yeah, let me sing you a lullaby and put you back to sleep in this cot in jail again. Real self-love is, let's figure out how to get you out of this place. Yeah, compassion, tenderness for what it's been like to be inside. I recognize you may not be as strong as you'd like to be. I recognize you've been through a lot. You've been in jail. Not easy. Not fun. But rather than letting me just give you a lap in which to cry while I join you in jail, self-love is, let's get you out of this place. Let's figure out how to get you out of this place. So real self-love is about expansion. I love myself to the point of having courage to live the life I am meant to live, to express the truth of who I really am. Which has nothing to do, by the way, with how much I achieve and attain and earn. And, it's not, I'm going to self-love myself to being president of the country or CEO of a company. It's not about that. It's I'm going to self-love myself until I realize that I am not a victim of my circumstances, that I am not less than anything. That I'm going to recognize that fullness, that wholeness, that completeness, that expansiveness of self. So they actually go beautifully together. Of course, and you can do them as two completely separate practices, either way.